Hi, we're live. It is, oh, let me turn off the fan. Sorry about that. It is Thursday, December 5th. I agree with you, Pam. We need to restore sanity for sure. Larry just texted me 4 minutes ago and said he can't do the show. I know he was busy working early this morning. I got one text from him saying that he would let me know if he had a break, but I haven't heard from him all day. My guess is there is a lot of strategizing needed, and he needs time to think. He has, Rindy, if you want to come in and talk about Southern Illinois and what's going on there and some of the changes we discussed on the phone a few minutes ago, come on in. I sent you the link. I texted Larry this morning. Sorry, that's the show coming on. I forgot to turn my volume and everything off. I didn't set up properly. Sorry about that. I sent Larry just to make sure he knew. I didn't know what his physical situation was at all. And so I sent him the message that about Pelosi, just in case he hadn't seen her press conference saying that she was suggesting they go ahead with the impeachment. Now, I listened to somebody today. Oh, Claire, thank you so much for your donation to Larry, and thanks for the reminder. I will put up the banner with Larry's PayPal so it streams during the show. When I texted Larry and said that Pelosi had said time to go forward with the impeachment, he texted back and said, working on it. So I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know who he talks to. I don't know whose help he is getting. I have no clue about any of that any more than any of you do. And if you do, I'd be curious to know. So anyhow, it is really important for us to keep Larry in this fight, because I don't know how well you guys realize his ability to do what he does. I mean, sometimes I'm just absolutely amazed at the information he can give us. And for, those of us who have watched him for many, many years, his consistency in knowing what's coming months, even years before it happens, is phenomenal. And the interesting thing about Pelosi's press conference saying that she's going to suggest the House go ahead and come up with articles of impeachment, it's interesting that she doesn't give a timeline. She doesn't say it's going to be before Christmas. She doesn't say if it's going to be in January. Larry had told us earlier this year, or even last year, that the plan was to just string it out as long as they can to hurt the election. That is their goal. That is their plan. That's what they're doing. And, for her to say, well, we're going to go forward with this, and then the other thing, I haven't had a chance to talk to Larry since Dave Hodges came out a day or two ago saying that Pelosi had been in Spain. And I know, we had heard the news that she was over there telling the people with the climate change that America's in and she's equal to the president. But Hodges just put out that she was in Spain meeting with Soros to talk about the election voter machines. So that is an indication, folks, about how imperative it is that you vote with a paper ballot. Your precinct has to have paper ballots. They have to have paper ballots in case somebody can't reach the machine, whether they're in a wheelchair, they're too small, whatever. They have to have a paper ballot available. And if the power goes out, whoever's in line has to have access to a paper ballot when the machines don't work. And during 2016, we were getting phone calls from people on the team who were trying to vote by the machine saying that the machines were flipping their votes and they could see it flip right in front of their eyes. They were going to the election judge, telling them to shut down this machine because it's not working right. And they could see as soon as they walked out the door, they realized the judge went over and took the out of order sign off. And so the graft, the cheating, it's crazy. And I heard something last night. Somebody was talking about exit polls. And they found that when people used paper ballots, the exit poll and the actual vote number was very, very similar. But if people were using machines, then the exit polls said they voted, for example, for Trump, but the election, no, I think it was, excuse me. I think they were talking about the primary with Bernie and Hillary that they had done this study on. And the exit polls, they would say they had voted for Bernie, and most people on the exit poll had voted for Bernie, but Hillary had won by, huge numbers because they were voting by machine. So it's, okay. This is interesting. Globachar's Ukraine is a global Watergate conspiracy. Oh, brother. What do you say, folks? What do you say? Pam, that's a really good question. Why should we be paying for Pelosi to meet with Soros? Why isn't he coming here to meet with her instead of our waste? Well, she wants to leave. She wants, look, I can't put words in her mouth. I can't put explanation and guess. I'm just not going to do that. Pelosi's son has done the same issues in China as Biden has done in Ukraine, and to my understanding, from what I have heard, that's the scuttlebutt. Let's put it that way. Gloria, I'm just going to let you know, I got a text 5 minutes before we started saying that Larry can't be here, and that's all he said. Can't do it, and that's all he said. So and I don't know why Larry can't be here. I have no clue how he's doing physically. I haven't talked to him actually in 2 days. I have not talked to him since he was on the show with us on Tuesday. So you heard how he went down. Now, we had money come in. I got a large check in the mail, and it got deposited at Tuesday afternoon. And so I was able to pay for his meds for Tuesday night and Wednesday morning with that check that came in, and it cleared, and thank God it cleared immediately, so we were able to keep him going. I did not hear anything back from him yesterday. I know he was working really hard. I did get a text from him last night. I'm not going to read it. It said something like, I just finished work. I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed. Try and talk to you tomorrow. I got a text this morning from him saying that he was working and he would let me know when he had a break. And I haven't heard from him since, until 15 minutes ago when he said he couldn't be here. So I think, Beth, that you're right that Pelosi's son had dealings in Ukraine as well. Now, remember, folks, the way foreign aid works, this is something we had no clue. I certainly didn't know this, and I think most of America had no clue. The reason these congressmen make $174,000 a year and end up very quickly multimillionaires is they help to arrange an aid package for various countries. And these various countries, the people at the top will take a cut. It's their bribe to work on trying to get help for their country, and so they demand a cut. And we've always known the third world did that. But what we didn't realize, at least I certainly knew that, what we didn't realize, I didn't know, that they get a kickback to the congressman who helps get it passed through Congress. And so this is something they all do. This is something they all have done for decades. And one reason they want Trump out of office, they want him out before all of this comes out in the open. And so they are scrambling to stay in the news and block the fact that next week the FISA report is coming out, the IG report is coming out. Where's the Secret Service on these people? You know, just remember, a lot of the Secret Service have been working for the government for a long time. They're career politicians. They supposedly are non-political, but you know, we're seeing how non-political these career politicians are, and they know who used to pay their salaries. And you know, that's one reason President Trump hired Triple Canopy to do Secret Service, do security work for him in addition to the Secret Service, because there's no way of knowing who he could trust. And it's, when I think of how little trust our president can have in the people around him who are working for him and with him, it's really horrendous. It's really horrendous. Beth, they're being political bodyguards. Yeah, because if they're career politicians who worked with a lot of Democrats, you know, as Larry has said since before Trump even got the nomination for president, for the presidential candidate, Larry was saying they cannot allow Trump to be president. He is not one of them. He is outside the system. They are afraid of him as the highest legal person in the land. He's responsible for our national security. And these people are compromising our national security. And having been one of the elite, he's rubbed shoulders with them. So they know how much he already knows without any investigation going on. So he'll never keep quiet. Well, that's why not only do they need to impeach him, but there's another alternative. And Larry's been worrying about that since the middle of July 2016. So we're watching what Larry has said for 3.5 years is coming. And here it is. And we're in a coup, and we don't have tanks rolling down the street yet, but the media's in on it. And I'll tell you, anything you know about World War II history and what happened in Germany and Hitler's rise to power, he was a very charismatic personality. The people loved him. They believed him. The media, was on his side. And don't forget, Goebbels said, tell a lie big enough, often enough, and people will believe it. You've got to make it totally preposterous. And the other thing Larry told us was, in Arkansas, make the lie so big that people can't possibly think it was true. And therefore you get away with it because it doesn't compute. They can't imagine somebody being, good people can't imagine somebody being that evil. They just don't want to believe it. It's not part of their reality. That's why it's been so hard for people even to realize the heinous things that are happening to children through CPS, through the pedophilia, through the kids who are disappearing. I mean, we had 2 kids disappear out of my own church. I've helped search neighborhoods around here because the family lived in the neighborhood across the street from my neighborhood, or the grandmother did. And the children had been visiting her, and the day that when they disappeared that night, we've looked all over this county for them, and the grandmother still holds out hope that they may still be alive. She keeps hearing, rumors that they're here, rumors that they're there. I just really don't know. It's a really horrendous thing. And I mean, I remember when my niece, we were at the fair, and my niece was little. She had dropped my sister's hand, and she saw something that she went to go look at. And we turned around, and we were walking, and we turned around, and she wasn't behind us. I mean, the panic that hit us. Where is this beautiful child? And thank God we were able to find her. And boy, I'll tell you, my sister didn't let go of her hand, and we didn't stay very long before we left. But you know, there's things to look at, and it's the things that are going on are just really scary. You know, I mean, one of the things I saw on Facebook recently, a story going around was, if you see that somebody has tied your wiper blades together with tied them together, don't stop, or something seems odd, don't stop to take care of it before you get in the car. Drive away and go someplace safe before you deal with it. Because if something odd has happened, chances are somebody's watching to be able to do something while you're busy, distracted, trying to fix whatever isn't right with your car. So, whoops, I forgot to bring my charger down, and my phone is just about to go out. So, that's the way it goes. I guess I'm going to put in my cell phone number for you guys right now through my cell phone here. I can do that with being on the show. If anybody needs to get hold of me, if you need to find a way to donate to Larry because you don't do PayPal, I'm going to say again, Larry's PayPal account is nicholslive@aol.com. Our website, www.nicholslive.com, has links to his PayPal, has his mailing address, which is 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, 72034. I'll type that in as well. That's Larry Nichols, 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, 72034. You can only mail cash to Larry. There is no way for him to cash a check. You know, I'm guessing, but it sure seems to me he's been digitally disappeared from the face of the earth. So, yes, it's possible to do, apparently. And they are doing everything and anything in their power to make it impossible for him to do what he does. And keeping him in the fight is really, really important. And so anything you can do, whether it be $1 or $1,000, is really imperative. I was talking about, you know, the coming of communism. One of the things that Ellie said yesterday was that they did so many things in Arkansas as if it was a test case for what would happen in Arkansas. Pernell, please share what? Please share. Are you telling everybody to share the video or share the links to his account? I was talking about the website. There's a donate page with the direct link to PayPal, his account, his mailing address, and then the cell phone number. And all those are also in the description box below. And so donate and do whatever you can. And back to Arkansas, she said that they were raising taxes, grocery prices were going up, they were doing everything they could to destroy the economy of the state. And you know, that's what we watched Obama do with Obamacare, and you know, the fact that John Roberts, Chief Justice John Roberts, he did some things that have never been done before by a justice, and I understand he did some things that he should be knocked out for if they were to come to light, and if he were to get Claire, that's interesting to have to put Nichols, the word Nichols and live capitalized at the beginning on PayPal to get through. I mean, I do that automatically, so I didn't realize, but that's an interesting point. See, Arkansas, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, I do not do multitasking real well, watching the chat and responding to that while I'm trying to maintain my train of thought. So, Larry was shocked. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, before he got so sick, and he had mentioned that he was just horrified looking at what was going on with communism. And he said, Mary Ellen, it's not coming, it's here. It's here. And he was just horrified to think that, it's not something coming, it's something that's here. When you look at the judicial system, I mean, Barr's hands are tied to be able to do anything because of the rigged courts. Now, Trump has been able to change several appellate courts. He's been able to put in, I think, more judges than anybody else before him, but he hasn't been able to replace judges in the areas with purview for these top leaders. And with the IG report coming in, he said the report, that the summary that he saw, he said it's going to be devastating with news. That's why you see Lisa Page coming out, oh, I'm innocent, and playing the victim because she's named in there. And her text messages with Peter Strzok name specifically Andrew McCabe, apparently, with being part of this coup. And so there are, yes, Mimi, I was talking about Chief Justice Roberts. Anyhow, what's coming out next week in the IG report? Remember what Larry said when the last time he was on with us on Tuesday, that he's going to mince words, just like with Loretta Lynch as AG with James Comey when they were Clinton was in trouble with the things that happened with her emails. They changed the wording so that if a certain word they used made it a criminal offense, what she had done, and they changed the word so it was no longer criminal. It was wrong. They were admitting it was wrong, but it was not prosecutable because they had changed the language. So, and as far as Chief Justice Roberts, he did something with Obamacare, and it makes you wonder how many of our leaders in Washington are bribed and the pressure put on because they will blackmail with the, they find out very quickly when you come to Washington what you like. Do you like drugs? Do you like children? Do you like women? Do you like, are you an alcoholic? Are you, what are your vices? And then they will use that against you and force you into doing things that you don't want to do. But, do you have illegitimate children? Do you have a second family that nobody knows about, whether you're married or not? Anyhow, somebody asked about prayer calls. I stopped the morning prayer call. We just didn't have enough people coming on, and it was about the time I was gearing up to get a bunch done. So we're not doing that right now, Michelle, but we will have a conference call at the top of the next hour. So in half an hour, we'll have one. And the conference call phone number is in the description box below here. Beth, the PG&E, don't forget that the Rothschilds are very much involved in the energy companies in our country. So, Stormy, it's a club and we ain't in it. Boy, isn't that the truth. So, Beth, as far as what's going on with California and the fires and the energy companies, I really don't know enough. Does Larry have proof? Oh yeah, Larry wouldn't have told me anything if he didn't have proof about it. So Judge Roberts should be in extreme trouble, but he should be in trouble. But you know, where you're going to go, like Larry says, who you're going to call, because if you have the prosecutors, I mean, look at Southern New York. The assistant prosecutor in assistant DA who would prosecute in Southern New York is James Comey's daughter. So this next generation, when you think of what Pelosi's son is doing and Biden's son is doing, and there's a lot of information being said about Lisa Page. No, she's not innocent, but she's backpedaling really fast. So, all right, folks, I'm going to end this. My house is cold, so I'm going to go back up to the warm room, turn this heater back on. The Tom Cruise movie, The Firm, yes. You know, a lot of the Hollywood movies explain a lot of what's going on, but Larry knows for a fact. For example, the movie about Barry Seal, Larry said there was a lot of information there where they had just taken artistic license and not told the complete truth. So anyhow, that is it for today, folks. Do what you can for Larry. I can't imagine how we save our freedom, how we save our Constitution, how we save our president from this impeachment if we don't keep Larry in the fight. So do what you can, folks. Spread the word. Get other people to help if you can. If you can't do anything, do something. So hopefully he can be back tomorrow. You know, like I said, I don't know if it's not here, but he's not here because he's working, or if there's some health trouble and he's relapsing again from having pushed. I have no idea. I just haven't talked to him in 2 days. So I haven't talked to him at all, folks, since the last time we heard him here when he was going down really fast. So keep him in your prayers. And if you want to pray for him, and join us in half an hour on the conference call number, which is written right below. So God bless you. Bye.